Please feel free to pause this video at any point to take down some notes. It's very likely that most of what you see here today will be forgotten by tomorrow. However, I feel that if you watch this video a few times, take down notes, and apply what you see, in no time you will be on your way to taking advantage of some of the common features that Microsoft Outlook 2010 offers. So here's a basic look at Outlook 2010. On the left over here we have the navigation panel. The navigation panel contains your favorites section, your folders section, which contains all of your folders, and your general view section, which lets you cycle through the mail look, the calendar look, the contacts look, and the tasks look. To the right of the navigation panel we have the folder contents section. This section contains all the emails that are stored in the selected folder. To the right of the folder contents section is the preview section, or the preview panel. This section shows you the body of the email that is selected, the to, the sent from, or the sent time, the subject of the email, etc. To the right of the reading panel is your to-do bar. In my opinion, this is the most important and useful feature of Microsoft Outlook. The to-do bar contains your calendar, your schedule, and a list of incompleted or flagged emails and tasks. Now that we've had a general look at Microsoft Outlook, let's proceed to the how-to part of this demonstration. In this part, I will show you how you can create a signature, create and delete folders, create specific rules that you would like Outlook to process for you automatically, flag incoming and outgoing emails for yourself and your recipients, and also create reminders for yourself and your recipients. So let's create a signature. This should be one of the first things that you do with Microsoft Outlook. To create a signature, we're going to go to the top left corner, click on File, and then click on Options. As you can see, there are many different options that can be changed and modified. In this case, we're going to click on the Mail option and select Signatures. Now we're going to create our signature. To make things easier on yourself, I recommend that you copy somebody else's signature from your inbox. In this case, I'll copy my own signature. Then I'm going to click on New to create a new signature, and I'm going to create a name for this signature. I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to paste the signature that I copied earlier into this field right here. And from this point on, all you need to do is change your name, your job title, your extensions, and your email address. Once that's changed, you could go ahead and click on Save, and you can select your new signature for new messages and for replies and forwards. You press OK, close out the Options menu, and check to make sure that when you click on New Email, your signature pops up. When you click on a reply to an email, your signature pops up. And when you click on Forward an email, your signature pops up. So let's create some folders. As you can see, my inbox already has many folders and subfolders in it. So in order to prevent confusion, we're going to create a new inbox. First, I'm going to right-click on the directory in which I want my new folder to appear. A menu pops up, and you click New Folder. Type in the name of your new folder. In our case, it'll be Inbox 2. Then you press OK. Now our Inbox 2 has appeared. There are no emails in Inbox 2, and there are no subfolders in Inbox 2. If I would like to create subfolders, I right-click on Inbox 2, click on New Folder, and title it. I press OK, and we have our subfolder. You can easily drag emails from one folder to another by following these steps. In my inbox, I have a few emails that I would like to drag to our new inbox. So I highlight them all, and I drag them to my new inbox. Now when I click on my new inbox, all these emails have appeared. I can just as easily grab an email and drag it to my subfolder. And as you can see, it has appeared in my subfolder. One exciting new feature in Outlook 2010 is the ability to sort and link your emails by conversation. This makes it easier to know what has been discussed in emails and helps you keep your inbox more tidy. Some users don't like their emails linked to conversations, and in the final release of Outlook 2010, it is turned off by default. Since this is a new feature, new users may overlook it and never know it's available. Here's how you can enable Conversations view and keep your email conversations accessible and streamlined. In my Outlook, the Conversations feature is already enabled. As you can see, I have here a test email called Conversations, and by it there's a little arrow. When I click on this arrow, the conversations of this email are visible to the user. Let's learn how we can enable and disable the Conversations feature for certain folders or for your entire Outlook. When you first open Outlook, it usually opens in the Home tab. In order to enable or disable Conversations, you would click on the View tab and select the option Show as Conversations or deselect it. In my case, I will try to turn this feature off. When I click this checkbox, the window pops up asking me if I want to apply this to just this folder or all of my folders. In this case, we will just do this folder. When I click this folder, as you can see, my conversation, which was earlier 4 emails, has turned into 2 emails, because these are the only 2 emails that I actually received. The sent emails, which were part of the same conversation, are in my sent folder. There they are right here. Now you can see the benefits of having a conversation feature enabled. When I enable the conversation feature for this folder, I'm able to go through my sent and received emails from that conversation in one spot, as opposed to having to go to the sent items to look for it. Here at Atlona Technologies, it is mandatory to keep your inbox as empty as possible at all times. Creating folders, subfolders, moving certain emails to certain folders, and enabling and using the Conversations feature helps you stay organized and helps you keep your inbox clean. Another very useful feature of Outlook is Rules and Alerts. The Rules and Alerts feature does most of the organization for you automatically by following a set of guidelines that you predefined. Let's begin by taking a look at some of the rules and alerts that I have set up for my Outlook. So to get into the rules and alerts, we're going to click on File, and we're going to click on Manage Rules and Alerts. This window pops up. You can see there are multiple rules that I already have created. This rule right here, clear categories on mail, it's automatically enabled when you install Outlook. We're not going to really talk about this rule. Let's look at the rules that I have predefined. So I have 3 rules here: send to office, from Ilya, and from Michael. The send to office rule I've created, basically what happens is when somebody sends an email to office@Atlona or all@Atlona, which are mailing lists, these emails get automatically moved to my sent to office folder. Basically, the reason I did this is because a lot of emails on a daily basis get sent to the office, and everybody in the office receives these emails. And most of the times they don't really apply to me directly, so I don't want them hanging around my inbox. So I've designated a certain folder for emails that get sent to the office, and I have Outlook automatically move these emails to that folder. I also have a rule that's from Ilya and from Michael. These rules are pretty similar. Both Michael and Ilya send me emails that usually have tasks or projects that have deadlines, and I've created this rule, or both of these rules, to help me keep my tasks in order and to help me manage them and make sure that I complete them on time. And also, it'll help me go back later on into my tasks section of the Outlook and show me a list of all the tasks that I have completed or all the tasks that I still have active. So this rule right here from Michael, what it does is when Michael sends me an email, that email gets flagged for follow-up today. And when you flag a message, it shows up in your to-do bar on your Outlook. And I'll show you or talk about that a little more later. Also, what happens is this email gets moved to the Michael Kane folder. And there's an exception that if Michael sent this email to the office or to all@Atlona, then it's not going to move this email to the Michael folder, and it's not going to follow it up for today. So this other rule from Ilya is basically exactly the same as the rule from Michael. The only difference is that this email or this rule sends all emails that are sent from Ilya to the Ilya folder as opposed to the Michael folder. And also I have the exception here that when Ilya sends emails to the office, I don't want these emails to go into the Ilya folder, and I don't want these emails to get flagged for follow-up. Creating rules is very simple. You would basically click on New Rule, and as you can see, this window pops up, and it's going to give you a lot of options, a lot of different ways you can set up rules to do different things. You can look through this yourself, and I'm sure that there are a lot of things that would apply to what kind of rule you would need to create. I'm going to talk about the moving messages from someone to a folder. This is the most common rule. So I would click on Move Messages from Someone to a Folder, and I'm going to click Next. Now it's going to ask me for the conditions. As you can see, again, there are many conditions. For now, let's talk about moving messages that have specific words in the subject and the body of the email. So specific words in the subject and the body of the email. Over here in our edit the rule description, we're going to specify what those specific words are. So for example, the words Viagra, if I can spell here, could be a rule. So every time an email is sent to you with the word Viagra in the subject or the body, let's see what happens to it. We're going to click next, and you have many options here again. In this case, we're going to set it up so that it deletes this email, because obviously you're not going to get too many emails with Viagra that relate to your job duties. There's obviously other actions that you could take here, but we're going to just stick to delete it for now. We're going to go ahead and click next, and this is the exception section. So you can set an exception. For example, if the email that contains the word Viagra in the subject or the body is sent to you, it gets deleted unless this email is sent from a specific person. Let's say that if I send you an email that has the word Viagra in the subject or the body, we're going to consider that email important. So I'm going to go ahead and press OK. And now we have here our description. This rule is applied to messages that arrive with the word Viagra in the subject or the body. If that word is there, Outlook will automatically delete it. Unless, of course, I'm the one who sent this email to you, then you're going to want to check it out. Then you're going to click next, and you could name your rule right here. You could run this rule for all the messages in your inbox already. So what Outlook will do is it'll search through all the emails you have in your inbox, if you already have a lot of them there, and it'll take all those emails that have the word Viagra and delete them automatically, unless, of course, they're from me. And you want to turn this rule on, and you want to click finish. So there you go. You just created this rule. You could see you could use Outlook rules and alerts to help you reduce the amount of spam you receive in your inbox. However, our spam filters are already great, so I don't think you're going to have to create rules of this type. Mainly what you would use this for is to create rules that are from certain people within the office, or if you're doing purchase orders, you want to move certain emails to certain folders. Basically, that's what it's about. Another thing that we need to understand about the rules and alerts section is that these rules are all set in a prioritized order. So the higher rule, or the first rule, would have priority over the next rule and the next and the next. As you can see, that these rules at the end of them all have stop processing more rules. The reason this is because when you receive an email, what Outlook does is it takes that email and it applies the first rule to that email. If the rule applies to the email, it's going to process it. If it doesn't apply to the email, then it's going to go to the next one and the next one until one does apply. And if none of them apply, it's just going to deliver that email to your inbox. However, if you use the stop processing more rules, which I recommend everybody do, if, for example, Michael sent me an email with the word Viagra in it, if I didn't have this here, stop processing more rules, then what would happen is Outlook would process this rule and it would delete the email, and at the same time it would also process this rule because it's from Michael. However, since I have stop processing more rules here, once the rule that has the highest priority is processed, the rest of the rules will not apply. So, and you could prioritize them by moving them up or down like this. And then if you want to move it down, you click on the down button. And deleting rules is just as easy. You just select the rule you want to delete, and then you click on delete. It's going to ask you if you're sure. You're going to click yes, and it's gone.